Only 18 seconds of logos, which you'd think would be a positive, but they set this to Marilyn Manson's cover of Sweet Dreams, and even though that song is kinda decent, he's apparently a bigger asshole than we even thought he was. Even bigger than me. So, here's 5 sins to start this sucker off. Movie starts off being both extremely vague and oddly specific. Also, look, movie, if you're too lazy to figure out a date for the setting of your movie, I'm too lazy to give a f*** when Gerard Butler half-heartedly tries to mumble a one-liner after he inevitably kills a bunch of fools. Thanks to these advertisements, when one of these buildings is actually on fire, no one will even bat an eye. Also, right from the beginning, it feels like part of this movie was written in a loud room, and someone name-dropped Blade Runner, and everyone else heard Rollerball, the bad one. Jesus, Joss Whedon went way overboard for the promotion of the Buffy box set back in 2009. The movie doesn't tell us what crimes against humanity Mountain Dew and Sprint had to commit while maintaining market dominance in this dystopian future. Yes, any future with murder gaming, Mountain Dew and Sprint is dystopian. Dear holy Christ, the editing of this opening sequence is more nauseating than the entire Human Centipede franchise. Man with briefcase does not belong in the context of this battle. Later we find out this is just sadistic fun for Ken Castle. But expending resources for this bullshit is no way to run a business and will certainly piss off investors. Gamers often do have time for this, so I can't sin it. But where is the audio commentary coming from? The cons definitely don't have time for that. Hey Bill, how can we make this movie look even less comprehensible than that hypercut opening sequence? Polly, if you want to have some idea what's going on, alright? F*** you, Bill, I never liked you anyway. Vanessa, can we set the next scene on a train that has barely flickering lights? Sure, Polly, I'll get right on it. See, Bill, that's how you make a movie.
Nobody cares about dead Orientals.
That's racist, in a weird early 1900s sort of way.
Stop menstruating.
That's sexist, in a weird late 1900s sort of way.
Palindromes.
I guess she says this because his name is Bob, which is hardly worth how distracting this statement was.
Burger chili fry.
I could freak a burger.
Freaking your burger! Look, I know this movie's dialogue is supposed to be turned up to 11, but there's only so much meth I can ingest in order to keep up with it. What is the purpose of controlling actual human beings if you're just gonna act like virtual characters anyway?
You can get paid to be controlled?
While I believe he's paying these people, it's most likely starvation wages. And I still don't believe this would be profitable on a pay-per-view model.
Son of a bitch pulls in 650 million pay-per-views.
I don't care what Discount Charlie Day says. What's the EBITDA? Other than making us all uncomfortable by showing off this oddly specific fetish, I don't see a reason for these close-ups to be in the movie. It's presented as some sort of interface, but later we see Simon controlling Cable from his jerk tank, and Gorge controlling Angie from his hover round. Hang on, if technology has progressed to where Castle has built his own Ready Player One online universe, why do we still care about the debate over PC versus Mac, or how effective Norton antivirus is?
Gina, when's the last time you saw somebody volunteer to be murdered?
How about when the situation agreed to be on the roast of Donald Trump, or anyone who tailgates at Buffalo Bills games?
Let's talk about the so-called genericons.
How much techno-babble can a movie seriously fit into the opening 10 minutes? When do we start talking about the hallucipuffs? The Briber Mines? The Cockernuts? Where does it end? What the f*** is with these camera movements? Are they shooting a movie or playing Duck Hunt?
Control is strictly localized to the parameters of our gaming environments.
Even back in 2009, Tim Cook was laughing into his martini at this line, which was custom made from Arctic ice, baby tears, and vibranium. Also, this scene is such a goddamn exposition dump, it started to seem like I'm watching an actual textbook turned into a movie.
King Castle wants you to believe that you are living in a better, safer world. He's a liar.
If the humans can get their branded logo to appear this clearly, why is the feed that shows Ludacris so jacked up? This scene is brought to you by the color palette from the entirety of the Book of Eli. You may be curious as to what the hell just happened to that guy. Well, this movie has no intention of telling us. This guy's broken legs reminding Tillman of his daughter is probably the least enduring flashback transition I've ever seen. I mean, yes, they both have legs, but why the f*** would that trigger a memory?
Keep my holes down, you gotta keep your holes down.
Good advice, terrible phrasing.
27 battles, 3 to go.
Really seems like this movie is 83% characters telling other characters what those characters already know. So the first few minutes of this movie was a bukkake of jump cuts. Then the next several were filled with verbal exposition vomit. And now it seemed like it's been 10 minutes since anyone said a word. Can this movie please make up its f***ing mind about how to movie? As the color contrast is turned up to 11, the avatars are openly groping each other, and the bad touch from Bloodhound Gang is playing in the background, I'm wondering how the most 1999 movie ever was released 10 years too late. I don't know what I'm more pissed about, that there is candy corn in this virtual universe, that candy corn continues to exist in the future, or just candy corn in general. Hey, virtual skip! I understand having multiple monitors for this game, if there are different views or perspectives from your avatar, but what's the deal with this one in the back? It's like 90% blocked by the screen in front of that shit.
Don't cry for Castle. He can cover this with the change in his couch cushions.
So we're several years into the future, but pocket change still exists and is referenced on the news? Jesus, how do you even see who to hit in this Willy Wonka nightmare of a train car? Free Guy Origins. Also, why would there be an NPC dude like this in the battlefield? I understand the banker in the last fight, since there looked like there was actually a transaction. But how the hell does this homeless guy factor into any part of this fight? Honestly, I would have forgiven a bunch of stuff in this movie if it just managed to have one coherent action sequence that let the viewer participate in whatever the goddamn goal of this game is. Instead, we get random gunfire and random explosions, all while the characters run around in this nondescript rubble. I don't care how talented Simon is, Cable has been moving out in the wide goddamn open throughout this entire battle, including this little Mary jaunt down the street. You're telling me he's completely unscathed? Won't the rooftops have snipers and shit? Shooting at this guy that's already completely on fire.
Shut up, fish.
What a weirdly hilarious line in this terrible movie by one of its biggest assholes. I honestly started to remove a sin, but then I realized that this is the highlight of the movie, and shushing fish ain't enough to pull that trick.
Gay.
Teenagers were definitely like this in the 2000s, so I guess I'll give the 2000s 100 sins so I don't have to address every dumb thing this kid says in this movie.
Wanna make out?
Saying this, even in jest, to your sister.
50 million euros for control of Cable.
Simon turns this down. Either he's super rich or the EU's economy has tanked so hard that its currency ain't worth shit. Neither of those things is a sin, but now I'm thinking about currency. And this movie from 12 years ago didn't have the foresight to use a crypto? Did it exist back then? I don't know. I just think that a Therabit light Dogerum coin makes more sense for these people in this situation.
He is what they want.
They love Cable.
Come on, dude. Nobody has loved Cable since Netflix started streaming in 2007. Also, why is Ken waiting until just now to come up with a solution to kill Cable? He's won 28 in a row. Did a guy this successful at business seriously get by all these years by waiting until the last minute to do shit? Damn, to prep this shot, they must have gotten Terry Crews good and constipated.
Who wins? The player or the slayer?
It doesn't really matter how far down the organizational asshole totem pole this correctional guard is. How does he not already know how this battle royale works?
The delay.
Yeah, the ping. They talk about that.
No one has really talked about it until the last 5 minutes. Now the movie feels the need to exposit all over the place about it.
The ping.
I assume it's really important to the plot. No one will be seated while Gerard Butler sullenly gives himself a sponge bath.
Look, I just killed someone. This is the blood.
What do you want, a f***ing Tootsie Roll Pop, Hackman? He's like a toddler that just went to the potty for the first time and wants a gold medal. In fact, I'd be more likely to give that toddler a medal and a Tootsie Roll Pop, since that's harder to do than a trained-ass killer that's bragging about something he does all the goddamn time.
I've got no strings, so I have fun.
This is a terrible rendition of this song, but I have to admit that I would love to see Terry Crews play the lead in a Pinocchio adaptation. Sadly, I don't think Disney would let that be, but there's a sin on thee. It's like we all learned in elementary school. If you find yourself on fire, you immediately speed up the motorcycle you're riding and make a sick-ass double jump. Oh no, not the John Leguizamo character that we've come to know and love during his 35 total seconds of screen time. Anyone but that guy, whose name I literally don't remember.
Like giblets, kibbles and bits, chunks, pieces everywhere.
It's like someone replaced his script with a joke script and the director said, in for a penny, in for a pound. What the f*** is that? This f***ing movie is insane, but this may be the most disturbing part. First off, why is the Avatar flashing her synthetic tatas at all? Second, what's it gonna do for anyone, considering they're literally plastic? Third, who the ass is gonna see this rack of man when they're currently engaged in life or death f***ing battle?
You're different.
Different. How?
Well, for one, you're able to have this conversation in complete solitude, even though these battles have been shown to be absolutely non-stop action. And you haven't had time to breathe in previous fights, let alone FaceTime with a f***ing teenager.
It says you're applying for custody of your daughter?
You know what this Running Man ripoff with technological implications and dystopian setting really needed? Some domestic administration drama concerning a character we barely know. The screenwriters, probably.
Your husband was charged and...
Movie thinks we need this guy's shitty Joker impression.
So it says you're an actor? I don't know that I've seen you in anything.
I guess he's seen every movie, TV show, play, musical, circus show, improv set, and performance art piece that has ever occurred. Why haven't we hired this guy? Holy shit, look at the size of this rando social service worker's office. This is like 10 times the size of a Silicon Valley CEO. And why in the world would this asshole place the desk in the very middle of the room rather than somewhere much more convenient? Look at how far he has to walk to get to the filing cabinets, for Christ's sake.
You just another poor little rich honky. No cable, no
Scathing line, Luna, but I think you used this exact same insult in one of the tracks on Chicken and Beer. So for the repetition, I've got to give you a sin, I've got to give you a sin.
We know you talked to him. Your player.
This is a weird way to say they caught him masturbating, but I guess there are some rules in prison that you can't break. movie always with the flickering lights? This is the goddamn armory, so what good are these malfunctioning fluorescent bulbs going to do for anyone? Either turn the overheads on or keep them off. I don't even know how you get them all to do this on purpose.
You're gonna end up dead, and I'm gonna look like a total asshole if you don't pull your balls together, man.
Pep talks. Also, I've heard a lot of malapropisms in my time in movies, but pulling your balls together, what the hell does that even mean? Wouldn't that make him perform worse in this battle? This most definitely should not have worked. For one, the accuracy of this vomit is uncanny. 2, his stomach contents should render this fuel too chunky. And 3, piss tends to dilute pretty much everything, so the octane of this urine would be significantly reduced. But the real question is, why did he have to chug the vodka before he started the game? It was already in his pocket while he was loading up with guns and ammo. It's not like they were going to pat him down for weapons. So Tillman, the cable guy, crashes through the concrete barriers and he's free. That's what the truck was for. That's why he needed to get drunk.
What the just happened?
I would give all the sins back to this movie and Geostorm if this were actual footage of an executive at Lionsgate reacting to the final cut of this movie in real time. Discount Bryan Cranston, although given the absurd level of talent in this cast, I would only be slightly shocked if it weren't. But just to be sure, let me look it up. Nope, no Cranston, but holy shit, Milo Ventimiglia is in this? Sure, they take this bonkers route to avoid being followed, but causing multiple public disturbances and driving through buildings is a surefire way of attracting attention to your movements. All this zappy pew-pew footage suggests that gaming and hacking are inherently related, when in reality we all know someone who spends most of their time playing Animal Crossing but has no f***ing clue how any other devices work. I know I mentioned how f***ing dizzying this camera work is, but one of the most disturbing aspects is the rapid use of close-ups. I've seen scrambled porn on 90s premium cable that was easier to watch. Seriously, I imagine this is what it would look like if Michael Bay directed The Office.
Federal prison system is growing out of control.
The healthcare system is collapsing.
MSNBC.
I can't help you. We know where she is.
If your goal is this guy's cooperation, maybe try starting the conversation with the thing he cares most about. Also, Tillman has a wife and a daughter, so what's with the pronoun game here? Can't just say the specific she to which he's referring? This is the second butt in car window we've seen in under an hour. Movie doesn't seem too sure about a lot of things, but it is absolutely certain about ass on glass. That's right, if you join this orgiastic cybernetic paradise, you too can dine on the finest insects we found in the programmer's backyard. Sign up today and get a free basket of a dozen fried boll weevils.
Oh, hi.
Right?
All right, movie, you're edgy, we get it, but if you would put your ham fists down for a second and simply travel forward in time to 2016, you would know that if you're going to cast Milo Ventimiglia, then Pilgrim Rick is a much better choice. My dog's daily constitutional makes it into the movie. Wait, how did Cable get into society? Did the humans plug him in like the Matrix? And if so, who's controlling him? Why does his avatar have the same facial lacerations and dirty fingernails as he does in real life? He's in real life when he's in the Slayer's battle. God damn it, this story was thought exactly 2/3 of the way through, then the writers high-fived and went for a long launch that lasted exactly until the premiere. Enjoying snuff films. I can buy that Hackman found Cable at this place due to tracking his wife or some hacky bullshit. But why did Cable go all the way down to the 3rd floor and know that he could get the drop on Hackman? What if they'd gotten off at a higher floor, like when the other couple got on there? I don't expect the gamers to be concerned about the well-being of these people, but the movie wants me to believe they are completely oblivious to what's going on in this room. If you're playing goddamn IMVU, and that suddenly turns into PUBG, you're gonna fucking notice. If everyone in here is an avatar of a real person, who are the real people that volunteer to be in this human Newton's cradle at the rave? What could they possibly be getting out of this? Especially the folks in the middle that don't go anywhere. The movie kind of nails the representation of how overstimulating this world is, but this world is overstimulating. The bullet logic in this movie officially went out the window when machine gun fire threw this woman across the room. And if this happens to be some other weapon, a movie called Gamer has done a job of explaining this loadout. I swear at this point in the movie I've seen more upward shots of ass than all of Megan Thee Stallion's videos combined. Discount Mystery Machine.
I can get you out of here.
And Cable believes her. Listen, kids, if I've learned anything from Dr. Sleep, you don't ever trust a stranger in a creepy van that guarantees you safety.
Your internet activity over the last 10 years is being scrutinized.
I understand that no one wants this to happen, but why 10 years? He's 17. So do they really have to go all the way back to when he was Googling his favorite Pokemon and streaming Paw Patrol episodes?
Pretty much any kind of, nut butter.
Simon is a gambling man. So if you sedate an avatar, you kill the link to the gamer? How did they do that without the gamer taking over? What are the rules?
What are we looking at?
His memories, translated into raw audio-visual data.
If it's so raw, how is it later so pristine and well-edited?
I'm better than this at Best Buy in 18 months.
They will not.
Excuse me, media whore.
Mistaking Kira Cedric for a Kardashian. I'm sure they're caught up in their argument, but how do they not notice that the most important person in the room has disappeared until now? Hell, why is the chair so far away from the monitor anyway? Can anyone in this movie office correctly?
You're the reason I held on.
bullshit, man. He didn't even remember her until just a few days ago when Drag Me to Hell gave him the photo of his family. He may be suspected dead, but Tillman Cable is still probably the second most famous man on the goddamn planet. They were having watch parties for him all over the world, but he can walk through this busy alley undisguised and not be recognized?
Don't worry, he'll come to us.
Jesus, Ken, Palpatine much? Why is every villain so freaking certain that the protagonist will come to them? Also, it's really hard for me to take this bad guy seriously when he's got the first name of an accountant, or a librarian, or a Jeopardy champion. This fake-ass fireplace. I almost respect this final boss confrontation for being absolutely insane and out of the blue, but movie has tested my resolve, retinal nerves, and patience enough that instead, I'll give this bullshit 10 extra cents. Random death strobe is random. If Ken has programmed these assholes to dance in unison, why can't he get them to attack Cable more than one at a time?
Come on, I want to show you something.
Damn, we have a combo villain exposits his plan to the hero before he plans to kill him, and you better come take a look at this cliche. I'd say that's double the cliche, double the sin.
So you got an army of psychotics and deviants to dance around for you.
Ron DeSantis. Oh, sure, a knife is much better than, I don't know, a gun, or maybe anything else that could have ended this quickly. Why is this kiosk outside, and why is anyone able to upload things to it? Ken's not controlling the family, right? So why is the daughter not even reacting to this homicidal gesture? I'm sure she trusts her dad, but maybe take a half step back, grimace a bit. I think even Isaac asked Abraham what was up when they were on the altar and his pops reached for the knife. I gotta be honest, I really don't know how this happened. Singles did a doohickey with the software, and Percy Jackson did a what's-a-doodle with the controls. And I guess 300 had some sort of emotional response to the magic tomfoolery, but it really seemed like it took a lot of luck for Dexter to f this up. Sure, 6 feet under is about to be, well, 6 feet under, but is Cable seriously not concerned about the many evil minions walking around here? Even if they were being controlled before, there may be at least a few of them that are loyal and or pissed that their paycheck is lying on the floor in a pool of his own Nanex. What is this scene about? Is this tunnel a metaphor for the writers giving up on the script?
You get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!